relief from the Supreme Court for owners of old vehicle in Delhi NCR for now. Breaking news coming in. No action will be taken against diesel vehicles which are older than 10 years and petrol vehicles which are older than 15 years. The Supreme Court has now directed the Delhi government not to act on its plea seeking a review of the 2018 order banning such vehicles. The court has also issued a notice to the central government seeking a response within 4 weeks. And in a big relief for vehicle owners in Delhi NCR, no action will now be taken against diesel vehicles which are older than 10 years and petrol vehicles older than 15 years. The Supreme Court has now directed Delhi government to not act on its plea, which seeks a review of the 2018 NGT order which banned such vehicles. The court has also asked the central government for its response on the matter, which is to be submitted in the next 4 weeks. This was a raging issue with vehicle owners for the last couple of days when an earlier order refused to give petrol and diesel to vehicles which were 15 and 10 years old respectively. And now the Supreme Court has given some relief. There will not be any coercive action taken against owners of old vehicles. The Supreme Court there is setting the stage for a review of age-based ban on vehicles. This after various review petitions, as well as experts suggesting that age-related ban may not be a scientific way of phasing out old vehicles and polluting vehicles. And now, Supreme Court coming to the rescue of consumers, vehicle owners. Supreme Court saying that age-related ban will now be looked at and the government may not take any coercive action for now. My colleague Brijesh Pandey joining us with more details. Brijesh, this is exactly what consumers had been asking for a while, to relook at age ban on old vehicles, and the Supreme Court seems to be now paving way for it.
Absolutely. I think it's a massive decision which has been taken by Supreme Court, which has asked the government, Delhi government and the NCR region to not take any kind of coercive action as far as 10-year-old diesel vehicle and 15-year-old petrol vehicles are concerned. They have said that they have asked the central government to file a reply in 4 weeks whether, what kind of next steps should be taken, whether there should be a fitness test of the vehicle, which should be the yardstick, or the government has come up with a blanket ban saying that, any 10-year-old vehicle, diesel vehicle or 15-year-old petrol vehicle and ban on it should continue. I think, this is one of the key observations of the Chief Justice was, which kind of indicated the mood of the Supreme Court was, when Chief Justice of India, Mr. Gavai, said that, earlier the cars used to run for 40 to 50 years. What has changed? This is $1 billion question which almost every vehicle owner in the NCR region is asking. What exactly has changed? Because, you are dismissing, you are forcing the consumer to part with a 10-year-old diesel vehicle or 15-year-old petrol vehicle based only on the number of years and not about the kind of, fitness of the vehicle, which was absolutely lopsided in favor of the automotive maker. Now, this particular observation by the Supreme Court has, once again waded into that territory. I'll be extremely interested to see what the government of India has to say on this.
Absolutely. In fact, government has maintained, and so have consumer right activists, that many of these vehicles are in fact in perfect shape. They can be used for at least 5 to 10 more years going forward. But age-related ban is making it difficult for an average middle-class buyer to afford and to sustain and continue using a vehicle. For that matter, in fact, BS6 vehicles, which are newer vehicles, are more compliant, emit less pollutants, will also be phased out, some of which were rolled about 10 to 15 years ago. So I think it's going to be a big win for consumers. This is perhaps just the first step, Brijesh. Going forward, if the age-based ban, the ruling that came from NGT, is to be done away with, there are more scientific studies and a new system of looking at which vehicle is polluting and which vehicle is not comes into play. I think it's going to be a big win for consumers.
It is a big win because remember one thing which is there is that the pliability of the vehicle should only be measured on whether it is polluting or whether it is fit to run on the road or not. These are the two important yardsticks which would define the life of the vehicle. But, there was a blanket ban, which is like, many consumers felt was kind of literal coercion on the part of the government to come up with a law which mandates you buy a new vehicle, diesel vehicle, if you are using a diesel vehicle after every 10 years. So I think it's a very welcome step which has been taken, welcome observation I would say, which has been taken by the Supreme Court. It'll be interesting to see whether the government, what kind of reply the government files in the Supreme Court, because Delhi government, once the 15-year-old petrol rule was implemented in the state of Delhi, it led to a massive hue and cry by the people who were using a 15-year-old petrol vehicle, and that
That's
led,
right.
or rather that forced the government of Delhi to file a rejoinder as far as this particular rule is concerned.